body, but I take you down tonight. And now I'm okay with being nasty. You can hop for all these calls anyway. Somebody tripping for the two gon' have to pay. But when you get it, lick it like a candy. Keep your eyes on me apply. Yeah, don't be timid when you in it tight. Love a bum, live alone, need it. So I don't want no crib, baby, stay like it. Oh, spike it, baby, jump up on us. I guess that's why you like it, baby. Come and get this. Takes a lot to excite me, baby. Give it all you got. I'm a dub cookie, baby, in the right side. Love it, baby, twist it, honey. Do it like you mean it, darling. Keep it coming, ooh, keep it running, leave it messy. Go ahead and leave it. Swim a All right, all right, all right. It's your girl, Chrissy the Heartbeat, and we are here for another Wind Up Wednesday. I am so glad that it's officially spring season. This is my season, and this is the year of the rebirth. This is the year when everything comes back to life. We got the pretty flowers. We're gonna have the trees on the leaves on the trees, the bees and the honey, and so much more. I just want to say, continue to stay focused on what it is that you are doing out here in the world. And it's time to level up and expand and grow. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and hop right in. I have a returning guest in the studio. Shout out to Nick Price. How you doing over there, Nick?
I'm doing good, Queen. Thank you very much for inviting me back.
Yeah. You know, it was good energy, different things of that nature. So I'm glad you were able to make it back on Wind Up Wednesday. So we're going to kind of freestyle today, you know. We're going to have just talk about the different things that are currently going on in the world and what's your perspective on those things. And, you know, we're just going to have a good conversation.
All right, let's get to it.
All right, let's get to it. So first and foremost, just let everyone know who you are and what you do, and we'll start from there.
Well, I label myself as the financial conscious guy. You know,
The what? The financial
conscious
conscious
God.
God. Oh, okay. God over here. All right.
Now, I think that with that being said, this has been my path from way back from that first time with spending days with my landlord, watching her grow her portfolio, to watching my dad work on other people's buildings and properties, to my journey into banking and insurance, and coming across people like myself who did not understand financial literacy or do not have financial literacy, and helping them get through their struggles. So I'm here now as a realtor with Coldwell Banker and helping people become first-time homeowners, helping people build their portfolio through real estate investing.
Awesome. So for the ladies that are out there, they may want to know: are you single?
Very single.
Oh, very single. Ooh, you singling and mingling?
I'm single and being selective.
Okay. Oh, I like your word choice. Being selective. Absolutely. So with that, we want to go ahead and talk about some of the things that's going on in the financial world because it's a whole lot. I saw today that somebody stabbed to death the Cash App creator or founder. Like, what's going on with that? And then we had Silicon Valley. You know, they went bankrupt. Didn't Cash App work with
Yes.
Okay, all right. And then now we got Trump indicted, arrested, and what's happening in America. But we're gonna start with Cash App right now. How you feel about that story in Silicon Valley?
Well, in most cases, a stabbing, that's a passionate crime to commit.
Ooh.
Yeah. So with that being said, with Cash App being tied into Silicon Valley Bank, whereby a lot of people bought up a lot of cryptocurrency,
Yes.
and with that market tanking, you had a lot of people lost a lot of money.
Right.
Yeah. So that probably someone who went bankrupt and just ran up on them and gave them one.
Oh man. I didn't think it would have been that easy just to run up. But you know, when you wealthy, I ain't gonna say when you got money, but when you wealthy,
Supposed to come with security.
now you move differently. Only
Sure.
people that need security is the thugs out here or the gangster rappers talking about, when $100,000 around their neck and shit, and talking about being in these streets, but they ain't really in the streets.
Absolutely.
But that's a different conversation in itself.
Uh-huh.
So with that, I also saw recently that I believe it's Brazil, Russia, China, and is it Uganda or is it Ukraine? South Africa. Yeah, it was South Africa. I see that they are getting rid of the dollar. So tell us your feedback on that.
Well, these countries are heavily backed by their minerals and their other resources that back their currency. Um, we go to these other countries to, export their minerals, and with the dollar, it's not backed by anything.
This is true.
So, with that being said, China is a big influence in Africa and other parts of the world.
Uh-huh.
And they're, spreading their wings. I did hear that United States has not been keeping up with its debt obligations to China, and even said they were not looking to pay China. So China's been on the war rampage with, grouping up other countries.
Oh, to go, and they ain't got Russia on their side. Ooh, wait.
Yeah, United States been back in Ukraine, spending billions and billions of dollars. So yeah, makes sense. Russia and China partner up together.
Mm. I wonder what's about to happen next. Because when I say that, I know we are really now living in the new world order, especially since COVID happened. Like, that really just allowed them to force those mandates and different things of that nature of the change. Um, but with what's happening with AI, these banks or countries teaming up with each other, you feel like we're heading towards another world war?
Yeah. From a financial standpoint, I don't think it's going to be fought on the battlefield, but in the financial sector, that's where the war is going to be at.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think with the United States being heavily in debt to China and with the banks over leverage, um, it's going to be hard for them to be able to stay afloat. So the dollar's going to be in trouble, which that's going to pretty much shake
I
our
thought the
economy.
dollar was already in trouble.
It is. It's hanging in
What's
there.
happening?
It's hanging in there.
It's hanging on the thread.
Yeah. But a lot of other countries, smaller countries, they trade in the dollar. So with that is the reason why China is grouping up with these other countries to pull these little smaller continents are into the mix. Like, hey, you don't have to be bothered with it with the U.S. dollar.
Yeah.
You can come on over here. We got other resources for you to be able to grow your economy.
Yeah, that's interesting because even now with how I think I saw maybe about 2-3 weeks ago that the colonizers,
yeah,
they were over in I think Uganda, and they were basically giving like a demand or else type of ordeal, and then now we see that that was South Africa, but we see basically that's they've been doing, going around giving these demands of this or that, or we're going to pull our resources, and it just hasn't been working, America. So
America is a bully.
America is the king of bullies. They are the true savages.
Absolutely.
True savages, and they love to point the finger at us.
Yeah, I believe I read somewhere that smaller countries, they can't even export their rice to the United States. Yeah, they're really tax heavy with tips and everything, so it just makes it impossible for them to make a profit. And that's just one of the things that they do to keep these countries, you know,
at a distance.
Yeah, at a disadvantage. Absolutely.
Yeah. Gotta love. So with those countries that we mentioned that have teamed up with each other, do you see yourself moving to either one of those locations? Because
I never thought about it. Not it, but
do you feel safe to stay in America?
We have luxuries that other countries don't have.
But give me some of them luxuries outside of being able to flush the toilet. I know that's like one of the main.
It's just the systems that we have in place for as far as government. You
gotta go ahead.
Like as far as healthcare and.
The healthcare here in America fucking sucks.
It does, but you gotta think about somewhere like Nigeria.
They got the fresh fruits and the berries and the vegetables. Yeah. They ain't got.
But you're not going to the doctor and pulling out a healthcare card. You have to pay that in cash.
I'll put it. I see what you're saying as far as the healthcare, but I know that the healthcare is so much more better in other areas of the world, and they focus more on actually keeping you alive versus
holistic.
Yeah, they're more holistic and allowing you to eat the fruits and vegetables that grow naturally instead of here where they're spraying stuff. There's GMO. They're growing. They're trying to be science. Well, not trying. They're scientists. They're trying to be gods, and they got fruits and vegetables that's growing without seeds, and none of it is actually providing our bodies with the nutrients that it needs. Like I can go on and on
in regards to that. When you have the words Food and Drug Administration together, that should tell you all you need to know.
Absolutely.
Big Pharma is right there in the mix of it all. So they profit off of us being sick. We us have to go to the doctor, need medications, have to go constantly into the doctors for all these different, procedures. I mean, we live in a capitalist society where we are the labor, the
cattle.
The cattle. There you go. Absolutely. Yeah, we keep the country running.
Yeah, I know. So, which of those countries though would you move to? And you didn't give us any of those other luxuries. You said the healthcare, and the healthcare here sucks.
Well, I think with other people looking to come to this country, you just have the freedom to be able to build wealth to enrich yourself. I mean, I don't think too many other countries allow you. If you come from a poor family in other countries, it's very hard for you to come up and to another class or another level. I think the United States offers you that.
I would give that. They do. They give you, to those who are not born here, they give other countries the opportunity to, start building a legacy here. Like, and I know we are here as a people. But those are not something that's just handed to us. Where for those who are coming, that's a part of their plan of action. You can open up. Here's your way that you can build your legacy. You already from China, so with China, you all get access to all the beauty supply stuff. um, then the Arabs, they got the liquor stores and the gas station. So it's like that's how they're able to come in and set up shop in our communities and neighborhoods because that's their gateway to build their legacy.
What if you look at how their commerce is back home, where they trade and borrow? That's just the way they're built. You know what I'm saying? So when they come here, they're not looking to work for anyone. They come here to be entrepreneurs, whereas we've assimilated into the country where, we want to go to 4-year college and build up a bunch of debt and then go get a job.
But that's how we were taught, though.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We were taught to do it that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which then...
And then on top of that, we look at the education system, it's inadequate. It's antiquated.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have the same resources as other.
Well, I think we like number 35 or something on the list.
I don't even think we're that high.
We even lower.
I think we're even lower than that.
Like 50.
It might be in the hundreds.
Damn, I'm about to look it up while you talk about that.
I was reading a stat where it states that only 26% of high school juniors under CPS read at grade level. 26%. That is crazy.
And here in the United States?
Yes. Here in Chicago, CPS students, 26%. So that means we're graduating functionally illiterate adults. That's where we at with it. And we pride ourselves here in this country as being one of the best in the world. How?
We are not.
Yeah.
In no shape, form, or fashion. And I was saying this the other day. I didn't want to pull up the best states. I did not say the best states. I am a fan of Michael Moore. Are you familiar with Michael Moore?
A little bit.
Michael Moore is the white guy who did.
Right?
Yeah, he does the documentary. His first you probably had one. The first documentary I'm aware of is Bowling for Columbine.
Okay. And
then he also did Fahrenheit 9/11, where he talked about the Bush administration and how the Twin Towers was a controlled demolition.
Really?
Absolutely.
I missed that documentary. Yeah.
You missed that one?
I missed that one.
Oh, well, you need to go back and watch Fahrenheit 9/11. And he just puts things in a different perspective, which is what he does. He put things in a different perspective, jokingly way, but dropping facts all at the same time.
Okay.
Just based off of what was going on. And then because you work in construction, I'm sure you've seen or been around a controlled demolition.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. Yeah. So just how the Twin Towers and just how on certain floors they were doing explosions.
Right.
That's what I mean by that looks controlled. Why are explosions going off on each floor?
Really?
Right, because if we think about it, the plane, the gas and the fire from the plane, it was not as strong to be able to burn that steel like that.
Right. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and you got to think
science ain't adding up.
That is true. I never.
But that's the story that they told and spent in order to
go into war.
But
that's how we make profit.
That's how the colonizers make profit. Don't put me in that category. I like to be on the outskirts, not included in the categories with other people. I am unique all on my own.
Yeah, we go into other countries, put in new regimes, and that way we can siphon off their resources to keep everything moving and keep going.
Right. But I was talking about Michael Moore and the last documentary that he did, because he did quite a few.
Okay.
The last one, and I share this quite often because it's just good, and it's called Where to Invade Next. And in this documentary, he's literally going to different countries and checking in with them to see what are they doing different versus America. And this is related to education, the healthcare industry, the prison reform industry, and it just ultimately, what are they doing? Like, how can we take some of this information back to, of course, the United States?
Well, in China, every kid gets the same education across the board, right? No matter if you the richest
Rich,
kid,
poor,
exactly. Here in the United States, it's all about
classism.
exactly the taxing base in your community pays for your resources. So, versus someone that lives in Highland Park, is going to have more resources than someone that lives in Inglewood.
Right.
Is that fair?
No. I would say we rank number 22.
22. I'm surprised.
The countries with the best education systems. And you know who number one is?
Cuba?
China.
China? Yeah.
And then Singapore. But this is going based off of a 2018 chart. But we're number 22. I feel like it's so much more.
I think I got mixed up where the literacy rate. I believe our literacy rate puts us in the hundreds.
Well, I'll believe that for sure. So, with that Michael Moore movie though, I really just like how it broke down like the labor, like how everyone works. Everyone is a member of the organization, so they have a say. And they get 8 weeks of vacation, not 2 weeks. If you have a child, then the mother gets 2 years, 2 to 3 years of maternity leave. Right. The husband gets 1 year. And then if you all get married, like, you still will have your vacation time. On top of your 8 weeks, you're going to get these additional 2 years or 1 year and different things of that nature. And everyone's just happy. Everyone has tea time at the same time, and everyone only has a certain amount of hours that they work, and they're more involved versus here. Right. What I used to say was I'm a corporate slave in a cube farm because I worked in a call center environment. Okay. So it's just straight cube farm action. Hi, hello. Thank you for calling so and so. How can I help you? Doing all that building report stuff.
Yeah, but I always think about this where as much technology as we have, why are we still required to work an 8-hour day? And some people even work, longer hours than that.
Because you said it, we in a capitalist society.
It's crazy.
It's very crazy, very crazy.
So here we are, 8-hour days, less time to spend with our kids. Mom time to go
it's technically back. 10 to 12 hours. We've got travel time.
Absolutely.
You were saying though.
So yeah, it's gonna be some big changes that come about. It's one of those things that they say when America sneezes, black folks catch pneumonia.
What? Who said that before?
Yeah, you got to think about it. We at the bottom of the totem pole, man. So when things get rough, whoo.
So now I'm looking at a different list, and it's talking about Finland is number 1 and China is number 14.
Okay. And what list is this you then?
I don't trust it. I don't trust it. Now the one that I looked at was the first one said World Atlas. I don't trust that though. Best countries for education. All right, so we talked about what's going on with the dollar. and how Russia, South Africa, Brazil. I know it's another one.
I believe, see, was it Brazil, Russia, I think it maybe Iran or Iraq.
Ooh, they lying.
What happened? What
I'm
you find?
looking at usnews.com and they got education rankings, North America at number one. Oh, false lies. I can't. All right, so you mentioned that you work in the financial industry, right? So what are some of the services that you provide for um, you, you know, individuals out there in the world, and how can you help them with what's currently going on with this financial crisis? This what I like to say, we relive in the 1920s,
Yeah.
so the beginning of the Great Depression.
Right. Well, I think the first thing that I try to do is to retrain or reteach them um, healthy spending habits, why they spend the way they spend. It's one of those things when you're not living your purpose, you're not following your passions, and you're sitting behind that cubicle, as you talked about.
Q farm.
Cubicle. Yeah, you have to justify that in your spirit, man. Why you're giving up so much of your life to something that doesn't align with you.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So what we usually do is when we have those 2 days off, you know, we try to live our best life within that 48-hour period, right?
And it never is enough.
Absolutely. You don't get enough time with your kids, with your significant other.
And I need all the time. I'm selfish.
Yeah.
But then I need my own personal space. So,
right.
Yeah.
So you're trying to create that balance, and what usually happens is you overspend.
You do. A lot of people definitely overspend, and I've been in that space where I've impulsively spent just to be. I'm in the mix of what's going on, and we either buying food, buying clothes. In most cases, it was buying clothes for me and food, or buying drinks.
Right.
You know, the shots.
You got to think about it, like how many people have multiple subscriptions, Netflix, Hulu, whatever it may be.
All of the above.
Exactly.
Quite a few, because they want to be. Everyone wants to be entertained right now.
But think about most other countries. That time is spent usually with family, meaning family gets together and have dinner together.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of time when they even so working together. So there's not a lot of time. I don't believe that they spend in front of the TV because they're entertaining each other.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, no, I think that's very important because we are in a space where we just have to be entertained. So we got the TV dinners, we got to eat our food in front of the television.
Right.
We can't miss this show, because it's coming on. I know at one point Scandal or ABC Thursday was lit with How to Get Away with Murder, Scandal, or whichever the other one was.
Well, my thing was Game of
Grey's
Thrones.
Grey's Anatomy.
You like Grey's Anatomy? Yeah.
Games of Thrones?
No.
Not really. Because I feel like right now we're still in the same period to mentally.
Okay.
As far as the Roman games, it's just categorized differently now, and it looks different. Yeah. But for the most part, all of the games and sports is still very Roman.
And the classism,
yeah, and the classisms, and the rich is they betting on real humans, like they playing cards and shit, and but some people are able to grow with that, change their family members' lives and different things of that nature. And then you have those families that change their lives, but still be with the shits. But yeah, I've never really watched the Game of Thrones because it's not my thing.
Okay.
Just simply because of I'm not entertained by how white people commingle.
Well, here's the thing that really, um,
No offense to white people at all,
no.
those who are listening.
Here's the thing that really, you know, gave me a seat to look at it was it was treacherous.
Oh, how they act, how they operate.
Absolutely.
Oh, they definitely show their true colors.
Absolutely.
I mean, just look at all the Simpsons, the Cleveland Brown, and what American Dad. Yeah. Oh my God, South Park.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong, I used to watch South Park when I was younger, but now like South Park was the beginning of everything else that I just mentioned. But it's like I'm gonna just cut the road. You don't care.
All the way around. There's always a hidden agenda there.
Always. Always.
So coming up through the ranks, being in corporate America, you always have to be, leery of what a person's agenda is, And if you get on a bad side, what's to come about? So that's why I really got into that show. It's like, yeah.
A Game of Thrones. I mean, really, like the last thing that I was watched, or even when I still own a television, mm-hmm. I think the last thing I was into was Billionaires.
Okay.
And I know I said I'm not really into how white people commingle, but right. That was like a different level in understanding of just how the wealthy move and operate and make decisions. Other than that, that's pretty much about the last thing that I may have watched. I like documentaries.
So my question
Animal Planet.
Why have we not mastered how to move about in this world? We've been here for centuries on end. Us as black folks, why can't we master how to move?
Some of us have. Mm-hmm. And I mean, once we get in a certain space,
right,
they then come and take us out.
So we just had an election. We have a new
mayor. Shout out to Brandon.
Yeah.
I was with Brent. I didn't go vote, but Brandon was that person. I don't know. Vallis. I did go to one of their rallies that they did at UIC.
Okay.
And just everything that between the both of them, what they were, how they were answering the questions, it was very clear for me the difference of still being a part of the good old boy system and network with a fraternity of police officers. And I've asked this question: why does the police have a fraternity? I don't understand. I mean, I know they graduate, it's an academy, right. And I can see the brotherhood, blah 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 blah. But
yeah, did you see the Laquan McDonald documentary?
No, I feel like I did, but I didn't.
It took me. It pissed me off, right? Because I'm looking at the spokesperson for the fraternal order. I'm looking at the former spokesperson for the fraternal order. I was looking at the president, and these guys were super cocky. Even McCarthy, who was a former superintendent, how they, in the wrong that this guy committed, were still trying to uphold that blue code.
That's the.
Like this dude shot this kid 16 times. That was overkill. The fact that the kid was walking away from you, you were right by your vehicle. You pull up, you jump out the vehicle, you proceed towards the kid, and then you start shooting him. And then he's on the ground, you still shooting him. That's overkill. And you call that justified?
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at it. In their world, it is justified because they are coming in they've been more so brainwashed, and I'll explain, but they've been more so brainwashed to feel like they have to save their country that their ancestors have came over and conquered, and they got that self entitlement. So we know that between the Irish, the Italians, and everyone got separated and categorized in a particular, the color coding. We got your white, right, which is a mixture of all of them, but they are saying they could say that I'm Italian and American, or American Italian, or Irish and American. And they can say that I know where my ancestors and my people come from, right? Where for us, we can't really say that. So it's bad for us to say it. But with that, they were able to get put in charge of certain things. If I'm not mistaken, the fire department and the police department is the Irish, right?
Irish police department is the Irish. The fire department is the Italians. Okay. Right. That allowed them to assimilate into the American culture, and do what they do.
Right. So if you look at that, then now they got 3-4 generations of individuals and family members working in that, right, and that's their pride and joy, and because they're living through their legacy, right? Yeah. But someone who, what's his name? I forgot his name already. Laquan? No, not Laquan. Who's that? The officer.
I can't even remember the guy's name now.
Right.
Go look him up. He only did 3 years.
Yeah, but that's still disrespectful. But what I was going with that is that he had, their contracts that they have. They sign a contract, so it gives them
Jason Van Dyke.
Yeah, Mr. Van Dyke. They give him that contract gives them covers their asses if something like that happens. So we know that they have certain codes of certain things that they are doing that they know that they can get covered. He knew that he was going to be able to get away with that.
Where does humanity come into play? Like you shoot a kid, like you don't see him as a kid, you don't see him as a human being.
No.
You don't see him as a person.
No, he doesn't, because of how he was raised and brainwashed. They don't think that we are on the same level as them. And we're not. We're actually, well, you should know this already. We're more superior, just based off of
genetics,
the melanin in our skin. So that alone is more than enough. And then their kind isn't flourishing the same way that we are. Because even with, and that's another thing, even with how we have so many different things going up against us, we're Absolutely. Still able to thrive and do more than thrive, but be more successful than them. And they have this
400-year starting block.
Yeah, but they still have this the Billies and the Jills and the Karens. They still have those. Oh, what is this person doing that I'm not doing? That self entitlement. That I should have whatever they have,
right,
and better.
So with this election, it really showed you the true colors of a lot of people of color.
Speak on it, because I seen the list of people, and I know 2 of them.
It's not about black and white. It's about the policies,
the lies,
and the policies.
Don't be on this radio show.
No, I'm going to say this. It's not about the black and white. It's about the policies and the government for all people. But actually putting the dollars.
The black and white, that is black and white.
It is.
White paper, black ink.
It shouldn't be, right? So
black and white.
If Lincoln Park has all the resources and all the dollars, and Inglewood doesn't, don't you think the money should go to Inglewood? Why you keep filtering money towards those other communities
because
that already have the resources?
I can get my return on investment. Yeah. I can't get my return on investment in Inglewood when it's dried out.
That's only because you're directing the business towards those other communities.
I'm in agreement with you. However, I'm being devil's advocate. I'm answering your question like I'm gonna get a return on my investment a lot quicker than I am in Evanston. I mean, in Inglewood.
Inglewood can be just as viable as any other community within the city when you put the people first. When you invest in the educational system, when you put the infrastructure there, when you build up the business corridor, it'll happen.
Yeah, well, we're gonna get back to them people that was on that list.
Man, here's the thing that I'm upset about. Those people never stated their reason for backing the other candidate. You know, they just jumped on the bandwagon and said we're gonna ride with this guy. And I think those people had their own personal agendas, thinking that Vallis was going to pull it off, so they're going to jump on the bandwagon early, right, to be able to further their own agendas.
So we got to put some names out there. Put somebody's name out there that you saw that joined the bandwagon.
Jamal Green.
Okay, talk about it.
Here's the thing: when I see a candidate or any person, and I can't pinpoint where that person's money comes from, then I already have an issue with that person.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
So what does he do for a living?
I can't answer that.
I can't either. And no one else probably can. Where does his money come from?
As far as I know, he's an entrepreneur.
Doing what? What does he sell? A hope and a dream? Where's his store at?
I don't know.
I've never seen him promote anything other than a hope and a dream.
Damn.
So when you have candidates like that or people who are endorsing other people, my first question is, where are you getting your money from?
Well, he probably got some money from Vallis. I don't know what to say to that. I don't know.
And then for the other candidates, it was like
I saw David Moore, Bobby Rush.
Why is Bobby Rush still around? Why is Bobby Rush still around?
Bobby Rush still around because he's the last so-called hope of the hoorah of the Black Panthers. But it's like you got everything that you asked for after they was dismantled. You see my face.
It comes a time I see your face.
They can't. But you saw my face.
It comes a time when you have to pass the mantle and move to the side and let somebody else.
Them old people ain't trying to pass no. I know you know the difference between the elders and the old people.
Absolutely.
All right, he being the old person.
Absolutely.
Like many
man about a cancer and came from the brink of death back to life, and he still won't give up that seat.
He ain't until he passed on.
And 9 times out of 10, they never groom their successor.
No comment. Okay. Who else? Because, I've seen quite a few people on there.
Who else do we have? Emil Jones.
You were surprised by that?
I was very surprised.
Tell me, I've heard the name. Tell me what he do.
Emil Jones, I believe, was a state senator. He is the political godfather of Barack Obama. He kind of helped Barack Obama usher his way into Chicago politics.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, what if he just got paid? Because, Vallis seemed like the type that I'm going to just pay you just to be here on the side. I don't care what your actual feelings are. But what if he got a bag?
Every bag ain't good. You sell your soul for what? $1?
Well, he sold his soul. He must have was gonna get access to something. I mean, that's the only thing that I can think of is that they had a conversation like many do. They had a conversation behind the scenes. If you join forces with me, this is what I can promise for you. And I mean,
so it's not about the people anymore. It's about what they can
their
get.
personal interests and their agenda. Yes.
And that's why we should have term limits across the board.
I agree with that.
Right. So we can usher in a new regime. I mean, we're one of the highest tax states in the union, right? Where all those resources going, man?
Somebody pocket. You already know the answer to that. They going in somebody's pocket who feel entitled that they're making the best decisions for the individuals that they don't even live in the same neighborhood with.
You can definitely say that again. Definitely say that again.
I know. But we're going to take a quick music break because we're going to wrap up pretty soon. We're going to take a quick music break. I'm going to play this song by this artist. And we're going to be right back. We're going to close out again. This is your girl, Chrissy, the Heartbeat. And we're just having a random conversation about the different things that are going on in the city of Chicago as well as in the world, Craig. In the world. It's a whole lot of shit. It's a whole lot of moving parts that's going on right now. So make sure that you're protecting your assets and your ass. But we're going to be right back. We'll take this quick music break.
Black. I'm black. Black. I'm black. Black. Black.
Don't you dare lose yourself, beautiful. It's only a man I got. It's only a man I got.
Black. I'm black. 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 Black.
Don't you dare lose yourself, beautiful. It's only a man I got. It's only a man I got. Now don't you dare lose yourself, beautiful. It's only a man I got. It's only a man I got.
Black. Black.
Can you fall? Hey. See a nigga like me gonna get money till I get rich. Ride with a couple hundred G's and a biscuit. Stay down for whatever, forever hustle with my misfit homes. And soon you go see as I grow this shit. We once we get rich. 10 minutes back to hustling with my misfits. Deep on the creek, 50 songs tucked under the throne. 50 songs tucked
I
under
keep
the
a cold nigga heater. It's in the trunk of my Polo and my two-seater. Make all skeeter. Keep up and grab the ball back just like a Derek Jeter. I know you wanna fuck my hoe, but you too scared to meet her. See, you ain't got enough bread to even start to treat her. The well kept it and in the bed I'm even sweeter. I hustle, I got more Franklins in me than Aretha. If I had Oprah Winfrey, I would marry her and keep her. Yeah, this was knowledge is preachers and teachers, just as long as the message reaches. We all fill up the bleachers. I'm the MJG. I get in no shit. I ain't trying to run your clique. That be your friend so quick. Come on, where my money? Let me hit the stage. Fuck them long interviews. Just give us the front page. Black G across the BS up. Whatever bust them lyrics that make the people say that he got nuts.
It's like me gonna get money till I get rich. Ride with a couple hundred G's and a biscuit. Stay down for whatever, forever hustle with my misfit homes. So you gon' see as I prove this shit. We was get rich. 10 minutes back to hustling with my biscuits. Deep on the creek, 50 songs tucked under the throne. Songs tucked under the
Sticky weed kicking in, big ball stepping in, straight flying when I hustle. That's how I represent. Bounce. If you feeling what I'm sitting up in your ear hole, I've been rocking mics since I was 17 years old, smoking up, drinking up, kicking dust and fucking up. Everybody want a piece and we ain't got enough for us. Yeah, I touched a brick or 2 pounds, I done smoked a few. Got my bread and didn't do what the fuck I was supposed to do. Money, blind players, turn them into evil spirits. Niggas die trying to get out these old rap lyrics. I try to give it to them just how we come to be. Real and authentic, not how we be on TV. Be myself and don't be what them haters want me to be. Take the good, the bad, hit my knees, set me free. Make the bad good, put that on my leather wood. Cinderella with my fellas, see off in the
nigga like me
hood.
gonna get money till I get rich. Ride with a couple hundred G's and a biscuit. Stay down for whatever, forever hustle with my misfit homes. It's so you gon' see as I prove this shit. We must be get rich. 10 minutes back to hustling with my biscuits. Deep on the creek, 50 songs tucked under the throne. Songs tucked
You
under
need to stop sticking your hand down and try to fold it. Turn around your room handle and try to hold it. There's plenty dirt to be swept and needs to be raked. Now you need to leave from my face. Take heed to mistakes that you just made. Thinking the players could get played. Thinking that a rapper could get rapped and phone tapped my whole life. I learned the hard way to spot liars. And it seems like it's usually the ones that's right fire. Fire! Jumping about the tip of pistol, spitting up. Fuck me, watch my gun skeet like it's busting nuts. Self, when they hit your cheek, you burn, then it split your cheek. Then come out the back of your head, now you just a memory. Graphic how I got it, illustrated, rated, triple X. Niggas wanna be the king, I don't give a fuck who best. Just watch your mouth talking down in the south. I'ma let my nuts hang and start pointing sounds down here.
So you gon' see as I crump this shit, be what's make you rich. It's back to hustling with my misfits. Songs tucked under the throne. Songs tucked under the throne. Songs What you know about that A-Ball and MJJ?
Man, I was 30 minutes from Memphis growing up. What you talking about?
Alright, y'all. It's your girl, Chrissy the Heartbeat, and we are back from the music break. We're going to be wrapping up soon, but before we go, Mr. Price, let everyone know how they can get in contact with you. You know, maybe slide your telephone number for somebody who's single. Just joking. Somebody may be single on the air listening right now. They be like, hey, I'm going to call him. He sounds fly and intelligent. You know, can have a good conversation.
Well, my IG is Nick Price Broker. You can find me on IG. You can find me on Facebook at Nick Price. Again, one of the two. I don't get my phone number out, but either or. You can hit me up on.
You can slide in the DM.
Yeah, absolutely.
And go down in the DM. Okay. And let them know one more time, you are the financial literacy god.
Yeah, financial.
On God.
Absolutely, all day. It's very important, man, that we get our heads together, man, and get our money right so we can do whatever we want to do when we're ready to do it.
Hey, so are you offering any workshops?
Not yet. I got some things coming up this year. Still early in the year, but I will be putting some things together. I haven't done my empowering Black women through real estate. I haven't did that in 2 years, so I'll probably put that back together. A lot of good
information. Come on with it.
Yeah. So that's probably the first thing I kick off.
Okay. Well, keep us in the loop. You know, you're always welcome to come back to promote that show or that event and different things of that nature.
Yeah.
So we can make that happen.
Absolutely. Thank you very much again for having me, Queen.
Yes, not a problem. Thanks for coming back on the show. I know you were here earlier. We was diving deep into the relationship conversation.
Oh, yeah. We was having a good time.
Yes. I know, and this time you're here. We are officially in second quarter. This is technically my new year. I don't celebrate the new year when everybody else do, because this the new season for me right here, because it's when everything comes back to life, or the rebirth, harvest season, and all that. It's time to get it. But with that, it's your girl Chrissy the Heartbeat, and you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, as well as YouTube. That was the other one. I'm about to say IG, but I just said that. Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Chrissy with the K, KRISSY _ the Heartbeat. All right. So tune in, follow me, find me for next week's show and all the amazing things that I do have coming up. Not only for this summer, but for the next, 3 to 5 years. I like to plan out. But anyway, we're going to end this show. I'm going to end it with one of my favorite rappers, and that's none other than A$AP Rocky. Shout out to him and Rihanna on having a beautiful baby boy, and about to have another one. Ooh.
Hey, A$AP Rocky showing up that.
You can't even get your words out.
I'm about to say something slick. I say he making sure he stay in good, man. He putting it in there.
Oh, he putting in that work.
He put in that work. Yeah.
All right.
That's called leveling up.
Yeah, I get it. It's the back to back.
Right.
Being a mom, I already know having 2 children back to back. All my children are separated on purpose. A 6-year difference.
Really?
I'm not kidding. Okay, no back to back to me on me. No, but more power to the women who are able to handle and manage having children back to back. And kudos to you, because one thing I know, once they hit 18 and 19, everybody can go all at the same time. But with that, on that note, we're gonna go ahead and close out with this song called M's. And with that, see you all next week. I hope you enjoyed the conversation where we were talking about financial literacy. It's a lot of different things that is currently going on in the world. And not only are we fighting a spiritual war, but we also fighting a financial war, the wealth against the poor. So make sure that you're on the right side or in between. One of the other.
Again.
All right, with that, peace out.
Cool beans.
One time for ASAP, man. Let's go. What's this I see? Niggas tryna act like cheese. Got ASAP, got Birdie with me. It's a new day, no black eyed peas. That's that shit. Yeah, that's that shit. You ain't got no fly. Motherfucker better blast that shit. Niggas grip close to the Clico. Bitches sniff throw all the kilos. Block 'em make sales of the Blico.